Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Game of Thrones. Last time on Game of Thrones, we began Season 5 with the wars to come. What happened last time? Because I legitimately don't remember anymore. We had Tywin's funeral, and I guess sort of the ramifications of Tyrion killing him. Sort of. Meanwhile, Tyrion was in Essos with Varys, and they're going to be on their way to talk to Daenerys and try to join her. Daenerys is currently dealing with the Sons of the Harpy, though, which is basically just a resistance cult, kind of, that worships the Harpy that she sort of toppled over. There's going to be an election at the Night's Watch for a new Lord Commander. Meanwhile, Stannis wanted to get the Wildlings to join him, and Mance Rayder said no, and they burned him alive, but just before he could, really start screaming from his injuries, Jon basically put him out of his misery with an arrow. So yeah, that was basically that. Good episode. Yeah, that's basically that. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. Let's stick to this episode and previous episodes of Game of Thrones that I have reacted to. And with that being said, let's just go ahead and get right into this episode of Game of Thrones. Here we go. Hey. Should make it. Yep. Cool. Wait, we never got an explanation on what Dohaeris means, did we? Does it just mean thanks? All men must die. Back at you. I don't know. Yeah, which door do you knock on? Do they have a preference?
Jack and Hagar gave me this.
Alright.
No one here by that name.
Please. I crossed the narrow sea. I have nowhere else to go.
Is there anyone...
Everywhere else to go.
Is there anyone that can change their face? Take their face off? Well, now what do you do? Come on, don't give up just yet. Oh, no. Gone forever.
What is it?
Sansa Stark. Don't look.
You sure?
She's dyed her hair, but it's her. She's sitting with Peter Baelish.
Wait, did she dye her hair?
A bunch.
Do you like the taste?
Oh shit, she did dye her hair. I didn't notice that. Alright. Get your story straighter than last time.
She swore to protect your mother. She failed.
Why
would I want somebody with
she was on assignment when
guarding Lady
Catelyn
Sansa?
died.
Why should you have any say in her?
Can't ask you to say so.
Just get rid of all their horses. Oh! Bye. They're out of there. They're Audi 5000. Well, you couldn't get Arya. You couldn't get Sansa. What's your next move? A viper?
There are only two like it in the world. The one I'm wearing, the one I gave to Marcella.
It's a threat.
Oh,
Of course
shit.
it's a threat.
From
Our
Dorne.
daughter's alone in Dawn, surrounded by people who hate our family. It's a threat.
That and you killed Oberyn.
No note.
You go down there with an army, it's an act of war.
No army. Do you know where they're keeping her?
You're gonna go in there
Oberyn
alone?
mentioned the Water Gardens.
Never said I was going alone.
Oh. Who are you taking?
No sunflowers. I don't like yellow. Roses.
Oh
are
my
very
gosh.
nice, definitely roses. And
taking
music,
Bronn.
wonderful music, but
Let me send her to Cersei. One finger at a time.
I loved my brother.
That'll guarantee a war.
And you made him very happy. For that, you will always have a place in my heart. But we do not mutilate little girls for vengeance. Not
Yeah.
here.
Not in
while I
Dorne.
rule.
We don't harm little girls in Dorne.
Someone who has forgotten fear has forgotten how to hide.
Oh! Damn.
And I'm the head of a great family.
We do not know what this man did or didn't do. Give him a trial at least. A fair trial.
Man, Barristan with the voice
Show
of
all the
reason.
citizens of Marine about your father. About the Mad King.
The Mad King. You're here to remind me of my enemies' lives? Consider me reminded.
Your Grace. I served in his King's Guard. I was at his side from the
Probably not
first.
good to call him the Mad
Your
King.
enemies did not lie.
Oh, shit.
Go on.
I'm not my father.
No, Your Grace.
Then
Thank
don't
the
be.
gods. But the Mad King gave his enemies the justice he thought they deserved. And each time it made him feel powerful and right.
Yeah.
Until the very end.
Fuck, yeah.
I will not have the son of the Harpy executed without a fair trial.
Okay.
Are we really going to spend the entire road to Volantis talking about the futility of everything?
You're right, no point. The road to Volantis.
And they will never follow us. They find us repulsive.
I find
Yeah.
us repulsive.
And we find them repulsive, which is why we surround ourselves with large, comfortable boxes to keep them away.
Yeah.
And yet,
Mistakes will be made.
Thank you, Your Grace. Thank you,
Take the head.
Pardon me, Your Grace. I would take it, if you don't mind. It could prove useful for my work.
Alright, you weirdo. Qyburn's so weird. So interesting, though.
Over there.
So, the hand... What are you guys gonna do about that?
I do not recognize your authority to dictate what is and is not my concern. You are the Queen Mother. Nothing more.
Ooh, damn. Uncle's got some balls.
You would abandon your king in his time of need?
If he wants to send for me, I will be waiting for him. At Casterly Rock.
Oh, shit. Casterly Rock does belong to him now.
She's nice. I'm teaching her how to read.
She's a wildling. My father defeated her people. He executed their king for treason.
She wasn't with them, though.
Striking at you.
Gilly wouldn't do that.
You have no idea what people will do.
You don't know.
All your books and you still don't know.
All your bullshit and you don't know.
I don't know what I have left to give you.
You can give me the North.
I can't. Even if I wanted to, I'm a bastard.
Yeah.
The snow.
Kneel before me. Lay your sword at my feet. Pledge me your service and you'll rise again as Jon Stark, Lord of Winterfell.
Damn. Oh, I don't know if he would do it.
I daydreamed that my father would ask the king. Just like that, I would never be the bastard of Winterfell again.
Wow, so only the king can do that. And Ned would have had to petition Robert for that.
Mr. Raven.
Oh shit. Sam?
Samuel Tarly. Go on.
Don't do it.
Sam the Slayer.
They cowered together in the larder during the battle for the wall.
Ooh, damn.
Nice!
A wildling girl,
Get outta here.
a baby, and Lord Janus. I found him there after the battle was over, in a puddle of his own making.
Yeah, get out of here.
He may be young, but he's the commander we turned to when the night was darkest.
Damn. Here, here. I mean, Alistair is qualified, but... Oh god, who does that count for?
Appears to be a tie, Master.
Oh fuck. Jon wins. Sweet. Great job, Johnny boy. Meanwhile,
Why were they scared of you?
You lost this.
you got that out of the sea? Oh my gosh, that was him. It was Jaqen the whole time.
You said there was no Jaqen Hagar here.
There isn't. A man is not Jaqen Hagar.
Oh shit, Dario's gonna have to do it? This is not going over well. Silent. Whoa. Oh, I don't like that. Oh! Hey, get the crap out of there. Hooray for shields! Wait, what? Whoa.
Drogon.
Hey, Drogon. Are we cool? Take it slow. It's okay. How to Train Your Dragon. Just gotta do it like that. Good. Yes. Yes. No. Well. Bye, Drogon. Well. He came back. He came back. So that's at least good. Alrighty. Decent amount of stuff in that one. Oi. I was kind of worried, like slightly worried at the end there when she met Drogon, because it's like, oh man, you gotta be careful. I mean, it might blast you with fire, and it's like, wait a minute. She's the Unburnt. It's like, I guess that wouldn't affect her, would it? Cause she can't burn. She's the dragon. She can't be burned. So yeah, it's like, now obviously Drogon could still, attack or eat her or something, but it's like, yeah, I guess fire wouldn't affect her. It's like I forgot about that until now. It's like, yeah, she kind of has a power basically. That's like one of her powers. I guess it's really her only power, but it's like, yeah, she has the power of not burning, which is nice. I bet friggin', well, a lot of people wish they had that, but Mance Rayder, but he got put out of his misery. Anyway. Okay, so let's just go ahead and talk about this episode. Wrote down Braavos and the House of Black and White. Interesting, that this is basically where no one was. Well, we're probably just going to keep calling him Jaqen Hagar, so yeah. So that's where Jaqen was this whole time. And I like that. I didn't even, like an idiot, it didn't even cross my mind that guy at the beginning that opened the door for her was Jaqen. Like, that did not even cross my mind. And it's like, okay, that's clever that they did that. So yeah, I like that. There's not a whole lot we can talk about on that one because we really just saw that she went in and it's like, well, what's inside? We'll do that next episode. And it's like, all right. So yeah, that, I don't know. There's really just nothing to talk about there. We'll probably talk about it in the next couple episodes when we actually go inside and see what's going on with that. So yeah. Next thing I wrote down was Brienne. Man, she blew it again. Like, she blew it with Arya and the Hound, and, you know, didn't have her story straight, didn't, you know, failed at saying, you know, really why she was there, and it's like, I served your mother. It's like, my mother's dead. Where were you? And it's like, no, but she was on assignment to find you. And it's like, which is the thing they always seem to pick apart. It's like, both the Hound and Baelish now have both said, it's like, yeah, you know, if you were sworn to protect Catelyn Stark, then why did you, you know, where were you when she died? And it's like, she was on assignment. And you don't even have to say, it's like, well, she was given the task of returning Jaime Lannister. But it was more of just a, you could, like, say it's like, well, I was on a mission from your mother to find you, basically, to get you protected. And while I was gone, she died. You know, that's really not on her. She had specific orders from Catelyn. So, but yeah, she blew it again. She didn't get her story straight enough. They didn't bring up the Lannister gold, you know, which is pretty much rubbed the Hound the wrong way. So, I wonder where that phrase comes from, rub the wrong way. It's like, ugh. I don't think it's talking about... we'll not think about that. Not the point. Yeah, let's not think about that. Yeah. So, she blew it. She blew it twice. Oh, that's poor phrasing too now. Moving on. The next thing I wrote down was Jaime and Myrcella. Interesting that, you know, now Jaime is going to go in and basically... So he's just going to save Myrcella from the clutches of Dorne, despite the fact that she's really not in too much danger. I mean, I guess Oberyn's lover, who I'm just going to call Susie because she's just, you know, the actress that plays Susie on Torchwood. Yeah, so with that, it's like, okay, she's very, you know, mad about Oberyn's death and wants to, you know, send a message to the Lannisters, ready to make war on the Lannisters and stuff like that. And it's like, but the brother, the prince, whose name I do not remember, but he's Bashir from Deep Space Nine and Ra's al Ghul on Gotham. So yeah, Prince Bashir, as we'll call him temporarily until I get his name, was like, no, we're not gonna do that, and you know, this is Dorne. We're not gonna hurt little girls. It's like Oberyn said. It's like, we do not hurt little girls in Dorne, and Cersei was like, everywhere they hurt little girls. So yeah. But that's interesting. Interesting that, you know, interesting that Jaime and now Bronn are both going to go save her. Really interesting. I wrote down the Harpy / the Trial. It makes sense to give a trial, and I understand where Ser Barristan is coming from, because, you know, his whole thing with joining Daenerys was that he wanted to follow a ruler he really believed in, and he thought that was Daenerys. But Daenerys has been getting a bit more cruel, and Ser Barristan has been sort of the voice of reason, like, you know, maybe you need to show them a little mercy and stuff like that. And so now he's bringing up the trial, you know, give him a fair trial, and she does agree with that, you know, she does agree with that, which was sort of the same thing with Jorah, was that she was going to have Jorah go back to Astapor and Yunkai in order to basically stop, you know, the return of the Masters and stuff like that, but it never got around to doing it. So yeah, both of them have really, you know, tried to keep her merciful to her enemies, which clearly was the route, judging by the guy at the end. But I like that Barristan brings up her father, because, you know, you can say all you want about Robert, but Robert was never cruel like Aerys was. And, you know, it did seem kind of weird. It's like, why would you call him the Mad King in front of her? It's like, that is her father, but she never knew her father, you know? He died when she was born, basically. And Barristan knew King Aerys. He had been in the Kingsguard for King Aerys for a long time. And he saw just how cruel Aerys got. And he straight up told her, it's like, you know, no one ever lied when they called your father the Mad King. Which is sort of a double-edged sword, because yes, it's like, that is her father. But on the other hand, it's like, she needs to know this. She basically needs to learn from the mistakes of her father, because her father screwed everything up, basically. Just kept killing people, kept torturing people, and that coupled with the fact that Rhaegar, you know, kidnapped and raped Lyanna Stark, you know, coupled with that, that's why Robert rebelled. That was the whole reason for the rebellion against the Mad King, you know, everything that Aerys was doing and everything that Rhaegar was doing. So it's like, it does. So I like that Ser Barristan, who's been around a while, you know, and he served her father, you know, over 2 decades ago, you know, when her father died. He knows, so he's basically saying, don't make the mistakes your father made. Unfortunately, I feel like she kind of made a mistake in killing the guy. I understand she's basically keeping her own power. You know, she's saying, it's like, there are laws, there are consequences, and if you break these laws, you will be punished. But that's why, you know, originally she was giving the death penalty to the son of the Harpy. But then she was going to give him a fair trial, and she even said to Ser Barristan, it's like, I will come to the conclusion of execution after a trial. Which is fair, at least. But she did not give this guy a trial. She just straight up killed him, and that is definitely, that's not good. It's just not good. You know, I don't know if the nobility there, I don't know if they really, you know, cared. They didn't seem to have much reaction. It was all the, you know, the uplifted slaves, the new free folk, the free folk of the East, I guess. It was all of them that were like, you know, screaming for mercy, and then as soon as, you know, Dario kills him, they all just start hissing at her, and it's like, yeah, that's a little weird. I wrote down Tyrion. Cool to see them on the road, philosophizing and stuff like that. That was funny. And it's interesting, you know, they say it's like, well, Cersei has a hit on Tyrion. You know, everyone will want to, you know, get that reward from Cersei. And it's like, really? There's people that would know about it in Essos, but maybe there would be people that would be looking in Essos, but yeah. So that was a cool conversation. And then we kind of talked about most everything else on the list: the Killer, Drogon, Jaqen. So the last thing we're really going to talk about is, the last thing I wrote down was Jon Stark / Snow. And I wrote that down for a reason. At first I wrote down Jon Stark. Interesting idea because Stannis has to reunite the Seven Kingdoms basically under him. Because it's very like, you know, yes, technically the Seven Kingdoms are united under Tommen, but they're not. There's too many high tensions. The Northerners aren't going to forget about what happened to Robb, which includes, what is it? Did they say Lyanna Mormont, I think? Lord Commander Mormont's niece, who I guess would be Jorah's cousin. So yeah. So he has to do that. He has to get the North back, and then he has to get, he'll have to get Dorne. Dorne may accept him because he's not a Lannister, you know? But, yeah. I don't know. I don't exactly remember where Dorne fell in the war. they might not have fallen too much, like, because they're, you know, all the way in the south as south gets. So they may not have, you know, had too much of a stake in the war. So yeah, so I like that Stannis' idea to basically take the north and, you know, take it under his control is with a son of Ned Stark, because really Jon's kind of the last one. You know, Robb's dead, and, you know, he was the usurper, Robb Stark. And Bran is gone. Bran is gone. No one knows where Rickon is. And so it's like, you could try to unify the North under Sansa, but he doesn't know where she is, doesn't know where Arya is. Arya's been gone pretty much the entire time since Ned died. So it's interesting that he thought that he would try to win over Jon, and, you know, because the king can make a bastard into a legitimate, you know, house member, basically. So that is definitely interesting that he was going to make Jon a Stark and make him the Lord of Winterfell. So that's pretty cool, but it's not going to go through anymore, because now Jon is the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, which is amazing. Lord Commander Jon Snow. So that's really cool. It did make a lot of sense, you know. They've been talking about this, that, you know, Jon's becoming really popular, and, you know, with the basically the selection, the election coming up, that, you know, Jon may actually win. And that was the whole thing, was that Mormont was grooming him for command. That's what they said. It's just that they didn't get too far in that. So yeah, and I do find it interesting. It's like, you know, because like I said, Sir Alliser is definitely qualified to be the Lord Commander. There's no doubt about that. But he really, he would not, I don't know. He'd be cruel. He wouldn't be a great leader, I don't think. Granted, again, he did lead most of the battle at the Wall, and, you know, he rallied the troops together. He had the plans and stuff like that. But then, once he was injured, Jon took over the battle and won. So, yeah, they tried to play up the whole, you know, well, Sir Alliser has always fought the wildlings. Jon Snow made love to the wildlings and stuff, and it's like, I don't think they care. I don't think they really care about that. It's like, they know that Jon is a member of the Night's Watch. He is a brother of the Night's Watch. He is not going to, you know, he's not a wildling. That's the thing. So, yeah. So, now he is the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, which is really cool. I really like that. You know, that's just really cool. And that's basically all I wrote. So, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Game of Thrones reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.